Officer Lee, it's really nice of you to make some time to talk with me before you head to London.
No problem.
On Friday here at the Palo Police Department. And you head off on Friday. How are you feeling?
Excited, nervous, all of the above. So I'm really excited for the players. I'm excited for the competition. We've been spending months gearing up and getting ready and training, and so now it's game time.
Last time you were at the Olympics, you were an athlete. You were captain of the U.S. Badminton team, 1992. Tell me about how it feels to be going back as a coach.
Obviously, going as an athlete is very different. You're going there to compete. Now I'm going with several players and helping them compete. As far as the coaching aspect, it's not something so different than what I've been doing for many years, but just being chosen to go was just a huge honor. So I'm really excited about it and just really happy that I got picked.
Badminton starts on July 28th and goes through August 5th. Tell me about the process and what a viewer can expect.
The competition itself, it's not an elimination type draw, it's pool play. So there'll be pools of groups that play and the winners will advance. So that's how the format is, the competition format. As far as the matches, it's going to be pretty much the same. The scoring system's the same, stuff like that. So as a viewer, when you watch, you're really not going to be able to tell the difference from an elimination draw. It's just the format of the tournament, that's all. You've
got singles, doubles, both men's and women's, and mixed doubles?
Well, 3 players qualified from the United States. There's a men's doubles team with Tony Gunawan and Howard Bach, and then a women's singles player, Rena Wang. You know, I've known the players for a long time, so I know them, I'm familiar with them. I've worked with them at other tournaments, so it'll be a good experience. Howard Bach's originally from here in the Bay Area, but he's training down in Southern California now. Tony and Rena are also both based out of Southern Cal. So I've had many trips down there, and they've actually come up here for training and whatnot, trying to get ready.
You obviously love this game. How did you get started in badminton?
It was just one of those sports when I was little that the only thing that came even close to satisfying my level of activity as a kid. Couldn't sit still and just really super active, and badminton was able to fulfill my activeness, so to speak.
Who introduced you to it? How did that happen?
A good friend of the family. He was good friends with my uncles and aunts, and he was always around the house, and he saw me as a kid running around all over the place and told me that I'd be perfect for badminton. His name is Richard Ng, and he's still coaching today, so he's a real good guy, and I'm thankful he got me involved.
And you just never stopped?
Yeah, just never stopped. I just got hooked, and you know, it was history from there.
What do you love about it? How do you feel when you're playing and on the court?
Not a lot of people are familiar with the sport of badminton. There's so many different things involved in badminton. There's power, there's agility, there's speed, there's endurance, all kind of packed into one sport. I love watching track and field. It's one of my favorite things to watch in the games. But for example, a sprinter, you know, they're very specific in their movement and how they train. But badminton, there's so many different aspects of the game. So that's what I really love about it.
The opportunity perhaps to watch some other sports too. I don't know, what is that? Is track and field something that you're hoping to see?
Yeah, I'm hoping to see that, but of course, you know, my main focus will be the athletes that I'm going with. I want to make sure I'm there for them and prepare. Even right prior to the competition, we have practice and training times leading up to their matches, so I want to make sure I'm there for them first, and then if I have time for spectating other sports, I definitely want to support some of the other sports as well.
How do you feel the team will do?
I'm very optimistic. It's hard to say. I've had people ask me that question before, and I just say, you know, we'll just wait and see.
Any other teams to watch, countries that you think will be particularly stiff?
A lot of the Asian and European countries are very strong, so China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Denmark, those are all countries that are also very strong, so those would be good countries to watch.
And how about badminton in this country? I think I've heard you say something to the effect of your goal is to put badminton on the map, U.S. badminton on the map internationally. How is badminton doing in this country?
It's doing great. I mean, within the last 10 to 15 years, it's grown a lot. It's big in the high schools now, and I think that is one of the avenues where it's going to help the sport grow, is to get it into the schools. When I say into the schools, I mean at all levels, from elementary school to junior high to high school and even college.
You don't need a field, right? So it's a little less, you need a gym to play badminton. You don't need a field. A little better for urban play, I would think. There's
pluses and minuses to being in an indoor sport. The pluses are you can play in any type of weather, basically. You're not under the mercy of, snow or anything like that. But, there's also a downside, is that it's an indoor sport and we need the clearance height. We need the high ceilings and stuff like that. So we just can't go into any indoor situation. It has to be suitable.
Let's go back to the obvious. Here you are, Officer Lee, sitting here at the Palo Police Department, and you're holding, meanwhile, a shuttlecock birdie, and you've got a racket here. A lot of people probably have never even seen badminton played or don't know much about it. And yet you are sitting here in your uniform with, the equipment that you use for your other life, your day job, as they say. Can you talk about how those worlds for you, how those roles fit together and don't fit together? I know there's the discipline and the training and the getting up early and the hard work of both. What else would you say, how else do they, being a police officer and being a badminton coach, fit together or don't?
There's really not much correlation, to be honest. It's just, I'm a police officer, and badminton just happens to be something that I love doing as a hobby on the side. Prior to being a police officer, I did play full-time badminton. I guess at the time it was as professional as you can get. I was making a living playing, not a great living, but at least it supported my competitions, my travel and stuff like that. In terms of how the sport relates to police work, really there's not a whole lot of correlation other than maybe a personality thing. Just being disciplined, trying to maintain a professional attitude, and just having fun.
You did say something about moving around a lot, and you are a patrol officer. You were out in the field every day, so maybe there's a correlation.
Now that you bring it up, I guess there's some correlation there. Just being active out there and enjoying talking to people and helping people, really. And I guess another correlation would be I do a lot of clinics at high schools for badminton, just as a way to give back to the sport and to try to promote the sport, and just making contact with people and trying to make a positive impact. So positive impact in terms of police work and maybe positive impact in the sport.
Are there any other experiences as you were growing up or early in your career that have shaped you, that have been people or experiences that have kind of been turning points for you?
I think the traveling was huge, because out of all the places that I've been, I've probably been to over 40 countries, and just experiencing different cultures and meeting different people and stuff like that, I think really gave me an appreciation for not just how life is here, but how life is everywhere, and I think that helped a lot.
We are here in Palo Alto. I don't know how your experience would be having these two pursuits, important parts of your life, would be if you were in a different community. Do you think being here in Palo Alto, there's sort of a Palo Alto effect on you? Do you think it would be different if you were somewhere else?
I love the community. I love the people here. And they've been, for the most part, very supportive. And in terms of police work, there are people who have good experiences with police officers and people who don't. So whenever I try to go out there for calls for service or whatever the case may be, for whatever reason I contact people, I always try to leave a positive thought in their mind with that contact. So really, I don't know if it makes a difference if it were here or anywhere else. I think for me, I would act the same. For the community, how they interact, that's a hard one to answer.
Well, how about your colleagues? You know, not every police force has an Olympic coach in their midst. Seems like they've been supportive of you.
I try not to bring my personal life into my work. So through my employment here, I've been pretty low-key. I rarely talk about it unless somebody asks me about it. So, you know, I don't know if I'm supposed to walk around, you know, with the big head, but that's just not me. I love my coworkers here, and we talk about other things. You know, we talk about family, we talk about work. I rarely talk about badminton unless it's brought up.
What's it like for you to be a coach now as opposed to a player? Talked a little bit about that. What do you like about that? It's
extremely rewarding because I've competed at the highest levels. I've been there, done that, so to speak, and it's nice to coach now because I feel like I'm giving back, helping the younger players come up and improve their game, give them the experiences of competing and traveling and stuff like that. So it's nice to see them growing as athletes and also as people, because when you travel, you know, it's just part of your experiences and stuff. So it's really rewarding because I feel like I'm giving back.
You were talking about what it's like to be here in Palo Alto and be comfortable with lots of different kinds of people. Palo Alto has certainly become more diverse. Do you feel like that's helped you here in that way too?
Absolutely. I mean, the community is very diverse, and I've met a lot of people here in Palo Alto that, you know, that play badminton. So for me, anytime I see that, you know, I go out for a call for service for any reason, and then you know, they have some badminton equipment in their home or something like that, then we start sparking up a conversation. So that's one thing that's really nice about this city in Palo Alto. The people are so diverse, and for the most part they're very active and outdoorsy and sporty, and they like to experience different things. So that's one thing really nice about this city.
Yeah, adventuresome and big goals, and you obviously have a big goal in coming home with, I imagine, a medal if you can.
That is the goal, so we'll see. Again, you know, I kind of put it on my shoulders as U.S. Olympic coach to try to promote the sport. So any chance I get, even doing an interview like this, I'm more than happy to do it and shed some light on the sport and hopefully make people more aware of it and get people more involved in it.
Is there any age limit on who can play? I mean, what do you need to be able to play badminton?
There really is no age limit. As long as your body allows you to get out there and be active, then we're all good.
Is there anything that you wish people knew, either about you or about the sport?
One thing that I'd really like people to know about the sport is how great it really is, and it's hard for people to understand that until you've actually either seen it or played it. So get out there, try it, watch it, play it, whatever. Appreciate it for what it is, because it's had this backyard picnic image, you know, for many, many years. And if people do that, great. You know, as long as they're having fun, that's part of the goal as well. But in terms of competition badminton, it's a different ball game. I think that's what I would like to get people to know and understand is the sport a little bit more.
So just a little online search would help you find where you could go get connected?
Oh, absolutely. Well, there's one fact that people, I'm sure, don't know is badminton is the #2 played participated sport in the world.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Next to soccer. So if you Google badminton, you're probably going to get millions of hits worldwide. So a lot of people don't know that fact, but it's true.
Fascinating. Well, I may give it a try.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, there's a birdie and a racket right here.
Thank you, Officer Lee.
You're welcome.
And good luck in London, you and your team.
Thank you.